also going to turn on my noise cancellation.
Hell yeah. Check, check, mic check.
Mic
Welcome
check,
back,
mic
everybody.
check.
Oh, one second. Hold on. Just a second. Yes, indeed. Okay. Alright, I wonder if I can leave this music on and actually concentrate on talking about these cards and stuff. Turn it down a little bit. Alright. Hello, hello. Welcome anybody who's coming to view this later. We're hanging out, we're talking about Final Fantasy stuff. I'm Tanner Cherry. Welcome to the Rogues Passage. What's your guys' names?
I am the wonderful Wizard Oz. Good to see y'all.
Heck yeah.
Ready Magpie, Al.
I may or may not be Julio the Fourth.
Julio.
Julio. No, I'm Brando. Nice to meet you.
All right. I want to start by talking about how mad I am. I've been talking about wanting to do a podcast to lay out our predictions, and I know I've mentioned this on the podcast before about how I wanted to go deep dive into like what the colors of mana mean and like what each character from the Final Fantasy saga would potentially represent. And dude, it's 4 months until the set drops, and I figured we still had time, and we're here sitting down tonight to talk about Final Fantasy's collab because they're already just rolling it out. There's no talk about Spider-Man yet. There's no talk about Spider-Man yet. There's no talk about Tarkir Dragonstorm. There is a very, very small preview of Tarkir Dragonstorm. They had like an Ugin without the text on it. Nice. Stuff like that. But I just don't understand why we're already pre-ordering for the summer set. I know it's going to be the biggest set of the year. It's going to be probably the biggest set they've ever done. How do you guys feel about where this is going to sit compared to Lord of the Rings?
Oh, I think Lord of the Rings is still gonna. It's hard to say. I think Lord of the Rings is gonna do better overall, but I think Final Fantasy is probably gonna see like breaking day one sales kind of thing.
They did Lord of the Rings for the boomers, let's be honest, okay? This is for the Gen Millennials and beyond.
Yeah. And
I'm honestly personally excited.
Who would win in a fight? Would you rather fight
most characters from Final Fantasy would win?
No, I mean like would you rather fight 100 Gen Z or one boomer or one what is it that joke is like would you rather fight 100 ducks? Yeah, one I can't even remember right now.
One boomer-sized Gen Z or 1,000 Gen Z-sized boomers.
Exactly.
I'm sure that checks out.
Checks out. Totally tracks. All right. I have pulled up here. I gotta minimize that. I have pulled up here on Scryfall. Shout out to Scryfall as always. The entirety of what has been previewed to us thus far. I have been avoiding watching it because I still kind of wanted to squeak out the like predictions thing, but I realize now I gotta let go of that. It's not gonna happen. We're just gonna talk about the cards. We can still at the end of this make some predictions for the future. I really wanted to do this with my wife because she's a mega Final Fantasy nerd. What's your guys' thoughts? You guys have all read the cards so far?
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
Well, I'm going to be reading them for the first time here.
I'm super excited about what they did with the summons. I wish they were legendary though. We'll see when we get there. You'll see them.
Okay,
but I still think they're fantastic.
I see right on the bottom here, Summon Shiva.
It's going to open up a lot of shenanigans for Flicker for pretty much all of those summons. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, I guess let's start talking about cards. I'll take the first one here. We got a double-sided card. Side quest, catch a fish. Is this Nox or Noctis? Sorry.
Yeah, that's from 15.
From 15. Yeah, I noticed. I remember that big thing, the archway in the back there. Okay, 2 and a white enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's an artifact or creature, you may reveal it, put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand, create a food token and transform this enchantment. Okay, interesting. So if you find an artifact or a creature, which is like stuff that you pull out of the lake or whatever, then you create a food token, get the card, and transform into the cooking campsite. Ah, yes, I remember these like cutscenes and stuff. From I can't remember the other guys' names from FF15 though. I just remember Noctis. I don't know why.
I'm a millennial. I grew up with number 10. I can list off more of the characters from 10 and 8 and 9.
Yeah, me too. My
Not
first
necessarily in that order.
my first game I played was number 10. It was crazy. I remember at the time, I very distinctly remember at the time not feeling like, I was like, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, but 10 looked so good that I was like, oh, I want to try this. And I got most of the way through it, but I wasn't exactly a completionist back then, that's for sure.
No,
Okay, anyway, to continue the card, Cooking Campsite, tap to add a white. 3 and tap, sack an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Activate as a sorcery. That's cool. Rations,
Like it. Yeah.
provisions.
It is a solid uncommon card,
Yeah.
which as we'll get into this list, I'll just say because I peeped all of them without spoiling nothing. I'm a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was expecting more from like what we've had spoiled so far. There's some good stuff in there though.
Oh, what's up?
I mean,
Rue's in the
I thought
chat.
we're getting reprints and stuff like that, which we'll go over those. But for the most part, it felt a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you guys, I haven't seen the cards. You're saying they're underwhelming, so now you got my bubble even further deflated.
Yeah, sorry to pop your bubble there.
Listen, I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just like when you take a look at some of the sets that have come out, we'll get into it. There's a
started
lot
to be
here
a
that
bubble bursting there.
yeah, there's a lot here that probably just could have been more powerful, but there's still a lot of cool stuff here.
I bet you anything when we see a freak, we're all going to lose our shit.
Probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, like this side quest thing, I wonder if there's going to be multiple side quests. Obviously.
Probably.
Also, like 3 mana for an enchantment that lets you look at another card per turn, almost draw half a card kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then transforms into ramp.
Yeah, we might see more. That could just be the name of the card as well. Just side quest catch a fish, because we have other flip cards in this set that don't have that so far. It
Interesting.
Could,
Hey, Rue, if you're in the chat there, let me know if the background music is too loud for us talking over it. I just wanted to have a little bit of a sound bed, you know.
Oh, we got
who
Root
want-
taken? Is that what we got?
We got
Oh, baby, I missed
some
the
hellos. Who wants to take the next card?
I will take the next card, and I'm
Stiltskin.
excited about this, but not nearly as excited as Callie would be. Stiltskin, Moogle Merchant, the Moogle. Look at him, he's so adorable. 1/2 lifelink for 1 mana. Pay 2 tap. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. So you know, like, I personally love that. That's kind of like really cool utility. I'm like, that's gonna go right into my Bumbleflower deck. That's for sure.
What would you be targeting to give people in your Bumbleflower?
Whatever I want.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
I guess
I'd
it's
give
just
them-
the...
Like, it ramps really strongly, so I could just be handing out lands. I could be handing out like other creatures. Like, Bumbleflower doesn't really need anything else other than Bumbleflower.
True.
It's a
and it's a 1 mana,
perfect
1/2 lifelink.
Oh yeah, perfect insert for the Giving Gazelle. What's his name? Shoot,
Oh, Zedru.
Zedru. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that I forgot Zedru.
I was thinking like a John Arenicus player with this one. I was like, okay, now what would be amazing to give away in mono white that you wouldn't be expecting? I was thinking like Eldrazi Titans, you know, just silly, weird, you know, bracket 2 shenanigans.
You're gonna be giving away steel golems. I know it.
You know? Like, here's a Blightsteel. I'm also gonna give it Vow of whatever, you know. You can't attack me.
Give it a bow.
Yeah, you can definitely do some really fun things there.
Yeah.
So we got a cool alt art version of it here as well. Moogle
No, I do
Merchant.
love that.
Callie lost a lot of years and hours of her life to FF14, my wife. So she's I really wish she could be here to do this, but the reason we were struggling to pull this off to do this episode with my wife is that for both her and I to be available to do it is essentially always when Luke is asleep and the studio's like right under his bedroom, so we try not to record when he's asleep. So it just was tough to make it happen, and I still thought we had more time.
Yeah.
Brady, you want to take summon Shiva?
I do. Yeah. No, I actually have one that I haven't seen on the list yet, but I kind of geeked over it pretty hard here. It should be on that list. It's Sin, Spear as Punishment.
Wait,
Well,
you're going further? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do an order of what I have on the
Something
screen.
that I'm super stoked for too as well.
Well, yeah, no. So we were talking about the summons here. I do love that they're sagas. So when they enter the battlefield, you get their chapter 1 almost immediately. And in this case, if you're doing some flicker shenanigans, it's going to be the first trigger each and every single time. I'm not sure if these ones have. I don't see skip ahead on any of these, but they're pretty cool. My big gripe is that obviously something like Shiva, it's notorious to the story. I don't know why you wouldn't have just made this legendary right off the hop. Even if it was like a silver, who cares? There would have been so much cool shenanigans with legendary matters if you had given these sagas that are also creatures the benefit of that, which I thought would have been really cool. Really explosive kinship kind of shenanigan with enchantment creatures, you know?
I'll suggest right now that I would think that even maybe as an episode, I think that would be a cool illegal commander build.
Oh yeah.
To do this.
I mean, I'd do it.
Yeah. Do you want to read this card?
Oh yeah, so yeah, chapter 1, we got tap target creature an opponent controls. You put a stun counter on it. Pretty tasty, honestly, especially when you're recurring it. You're putting a bunch of stun counters and stuff. No, stun counters suck, you know, especially with proliferation, and there's so many other ways to abuse it compared to regular frosting. Its second chapter is the same thing, and then its third is draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. So I'm a Hilda player, 100% I'd be adding that to the 99. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Guaranteed drawing a lot of cards, you know.
Is this very similar to, what is it, Time of Ice or whatever from Dominaria?
Kind of.
Like enchantments were brand new, or sorry, yes.
Doesn't have
sagas?
the card draw. Yeah.
What's the last one?
This has the card draw above it, but
Interesting. I do love the alt art ones. Like, wow, have we ever had
that's stunning.
full art sagas like this?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
I don't think so.
Not in
think
the
so.
same. Not in the same vein. Also, for Time of Ice, the third chapter is return all tapped creatures to their owner's hand.
Oh yeah, it's a bounce, right?
Yeah. I'm just really cool to see that we finally have sagas that are creatures.
Oh wait, this is a creature.
Honestly,
Yeah.
these summons, to have the summons be sagas,
Yeah.
I love that. It's like you've given them a move set part of their saga.
I
It's
love
Kind of
that.
like
Feels very
it's a
thematic.
love letter to the summons, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
You are a part of our history.
I still would have loved to have sat down and been like, how are they gonna do the summons? But we didn't. I didn't have time, and here we're just seeing it. But this is unique. It's an It's a saga.
Yep.
Saga elemental, enchantment
Yeah.
creature, 4/5. So for 5 mana, you get a creature that essentially gives you a burst mechanic or like some sort of ability each turn. Which, man, this seems powerful, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, all of them. That's what I was stoked about it. Like, if you are playing Flicker and you're right now, you have an Aminato deck, right, for your Oathbreaker. So some of these sagas are going to be great for bringing back and forth. Like, honestly, especially in Esper with some of these, I can't wait to see them. Like, there's probably going to be what was Seymour's mother again? It was like Anima or I can't remember her name. Maybe the crazy like that.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Looked like a
Oh,
see-
right.
Venus flytrap demon.
Oh yeah. See, and giving them the utility of being a
That'd be my
creature, I think is kind of the buff that sagas needed, because you still sacrifice after the third.
Yeah,
Like after the third lore counter, so you only get it for effectively 2.5 turns, kind of. But like, what utility? Because it's like obviously a 5-drop. You're tapping things down. You're stun countering. You're drawing cards, whatever. For that to be a 4/5 that can also be swinging, doing damage, or just a nice hefty blocker while that's happening, like
yeah.
I've avoided using a lot of sagas in my deck specifically because it's like a lot of them are expensive in mana cost, and it's like this is a mana sink for an ability that is potentially, and if it's a good one, does get removed.
That's nuts. It's pretty cool.
No, and it's got like the fading counters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but better.
Real quick honorable mention, actually, we just had this from Assassin's Creed, but sagas, and I'm really excited now. I'm connecting the dots here. I have Sigurd, Earl of Ravensthorpe, however you pronounce that. This one loves sagas. And
Oh,
if
yeah.
I could just make this deck now dependent on these summons, I would be very, very happy. So we'll see how many we get.
Oh yeah, no, there's out of the Doctor Who deck too. One of the precons that I bought has like a bunch of different doctors that you can use as commander. One of them very specifically cares about sagas, and so this is like a fun utility to be able to add to that too now.
Well, on to the next one. Oz, you want to take Cecil?
I'll take Cecil. Yeah, Cecil, Dark Knight, 1 mana, 2/3 Death Touch, legendary human creature. Honestly, this is power right here. When Cecil does damage, you lose that much life. Then your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total. Untap him and transform him, and then he turns into a 4/4 with lifelink. And when he attacks, other attacking creatures you control get indestructible until end of turn.
Oz, I'm gonna say this right now. You build that deck.
I mean, I don't want to be half my life total unless everybody's half their life total.
Nah, you could get
Which
silly with this. I know I could. You
That
could
might
get
be a
silly with
thing.
this. I have faith in you. I want you to build
Okay,
it.
so we're untapping and transforming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mono white.
So you've got, yeah.
4/4
turns into
life.
a 4/4 lifelink.
It's Orzhov.
and
It's a Orzhov
protects
spell.
your creatures on attack.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, it's a hell of a 1-drop. Has Death Touch and then turns into indestructible. And I mean, for an Orzhov commander, might be. I think it would be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a weird Death Shadow, like it transforms.
It's just the reason why I think
Yeah.
you can do it, Oz, is because you're a Haktos player. You know, like this gives me Haktos vibes for some reason.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, just Orzhov Haktos, but Oz, you know, with the Oz staple to it.
We'll give it a go.
I have faith in you.
Cool. We got. Whoa! Look at this art.
Yeah,
The full art is
The
pretty.
full art.
Oh, so it's got the Roman numeral numbers in behind the character. I believe from which one it's from. Then, hey. Oh, it
That's number
says
5.
on the card right at the
Number
bottom, FF4.
Oh, FF4. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Very-
Oh, look at this! Every one of the cards has the which one it's from. FFX is on Shiva.
That is
FF.
cool, but that is also weirdly. Oh, I guess those aren't like the set codes. It is still FIN.
Yeah, it actually says right here, right next, like uncommon Shiva, number 0362 from FF10.
That's
up
actually
here-
really cool.
The side quest says SFXXV. That's 15. I think that's quite actually helpful for non-obsessed people like me.
We'll see if they dirtle that. It's like, hey, this one's clearly from number 8. You know, that'd be funny.
Oh, here we go. I want to take the Tonberry because
Oh yeah, Tonberry's cool.
okay, I was
He's
really
a salamander.
there.
Love it.
There had to have been. I thought, man, there had to have been something. Oh, there's Jordan in the chat. Yeah, we got Tonberry here. I thought for sure this was going to be some sort of player kill mechanic, right? But okay, it's 1 mana, Salamander Horror through 2/1. This creature enters tapped with a stun counter on it. Cool. It's got its like little, working up to its big stabby. Chef's Knife. During your turn, this creature has first strike and death touch. That's underwhelming compared to what I was hoping.
I think it's still flavorful, you know. We haven't seen. I bet you anything. There's going to be a legendary one. There's got to be some. Jordan in the chat. Start right now. Am I correct? Is there a legendary one? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if there is. That would be terrifying.
It'd be amazing. Oh God, I'd build that.
I mean, I think the stun counter really puts a hamper on it. Like, it's just.
Did it need it? I know that's sort of flavorful.
Yeah, but
Well, this is going to be standard legal too, right? A lot of these cards. So
True.
Yes, this is a standard set, which is wild. So yeah, I guess they have to temper the power level a little bit for the standard environment. Ooh, I wonder if that means that. I wonder if that's going to put a damper on everything. Well, there's going to be the commander sets.
Yeah.
And okay, so the 3 set codes that I have in here are FIN is the standard set, FIC is the commander set, and then it was FIA, I believe, or FCA. So I wonder which set code that is for. Legendary Tonberry, we might see the Tonberry King. They flavored it to show its slowness. Yeah, it definitely is slow. Yeah, okay, so it is pretty on theme.
Slow
The art's
and
amazing.
steady gets the kill.
I would lie if we could get a big card of that Tonberry, that would make Callie really happy, but I think we'd all agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. If they next face-to-face event, if they or in the future they have a big Tonberry, we're getting a big Tonberry.
Oh, dude.
Fair.
I mean, I vote we just make whichever ones we want.
Well, yeah,
We just
but,
print
you
them.
know.
Anyway, the one card here down below, I'll come down. Maybe we'll just go right over to Jumbo Cactuar. This right here, the plus 9999. That was one of the predictions that Callie and I had, was that they're gonna have some sort of card that references 9,999 damage, and I was like, how are they gonna do that responsibly? And absolutely friggin' hilarious that it is the Cactuar 10,000 Needles ability.
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, that ability, if I remember correctly, just like kills you, right? It just inflicts 9,999 damage in the
Yep.
game.
Yep.
So
The funny
Bravo.
thing about that is I'm so excited to see everybody kind of pull the same nonsense. I've already seen about it of just like, I've got a combo and I'm not afraid to end myself, of like just draw your entire deck and die.
yep. Oh, hold on. We got Gavin jumping in here. That's screwing up my. Someone's jumping in, screwing up my
Sorry.
webcams.
Oh shit! Sorry, boys.
Yeah, we're doing a live thing.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, my
Wait.
bad.
Hold on. What if I do this?
Gavin, the agent of chaos. There you go.
Darn. I'm trying to get the cameras to work here.
Okay,
but-
I'll just leave. My bad. My bad. Sorry, didn't want to ruin anything.
Sorry. Yeah. Jump in the YouTube chat. Jump in the
Jump in
YouTube chat.
Jump in the chat. Yeah, jump in the YouTube chat there.
Okay, Jordan says there's also a starter deck with Cloud and Sephiroth. That might be the other set code. That is probably very true.
Yeah, okay.
And I guess, yeah, we will see those cards in here as well. So Jumbo Cactuar, 7 mana, 1/7, that whenever it attacks is attacking for 10,000 damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously
are we
there's
live
No, it's
on-
the
are we live
Fling
on Twitch as
King,
well?
as Jordan says in the chat there. No,
I was just gonna say,
absolutely.
Zia Tora.
Do you want to
Fling
check?
that guy.
Do you want to check there, Brando? I think I set it up. It says it's streaming, but I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
streamed to Twitch in a while. Yeah, it's showing.
Yeah. I'm
But
just
I am
letting, I'm
streaming.
just letting our
Give him
boy
haste, give
Gavin
him
know.
trample,
Yeah.
then fling.
Yeah, the Fling King. It's going to be. I mean, it's overkill. All you
yeah.
need is like if it was 100 damage, it's flinging for whatever you need. But 10,000, let's go.
There ain't no there ain't no kill like overkill. Let's be clear. That's
Oh. Ooh, look at this. Yoshitaka Amano, illustrated, ancient copper dragon, dragon of Mount Gulg. Wow,
Honestly,
wow,
I'm glad that
wow.
they're getting some reprints in here of some super expensive cards. Maybe bring down the price a little bit.
Yeah, it's
I'd
like, what,
appreciate it.
$100 Canadian. So
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I still need an ancient copper.
Same.
I bought mine for $60, and it only went up and up and up.
It's funny.
That's good, right?
Speaking. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it can be. It can. It's not, the amount of cards we've lost value on though because of reprints.
Yeah, whatever. Just makes them more affordable.
True, and I agree. That's the way that the game should be. More affordable, so we get more players.
Like I want to
Um,
buy a modernized Intuition, but I'm out of luck there. So whatever.
Oh yeah. So I just wanna bring up for Jumbo Cactuar for just before we fully get away from it. I'm putting this right into my Prime Speaker deck because, oh my god, that deck
What?
literally just wants to draw cards based off of the power of creatures, and
You
this
just
is
kill yourself.
literally not if
I'm
I have a
giving
lab
Tyson-
man.
I'm giving Tyson the same idea. I just-
Jordan in the chat said that he's got a friend that's gonna Swords to Plowshare it. I mean,
No, exactly,
yeah, gain
right?
the life off of it. All of a
It's
sudden,
so-
10,000 life.
There's so much.
That's
that
amazing.
this
That'd be
card
intense
is
in the
gonna
last field
break the
deck.
game
Oh my
for.
goodness. I'm just gonna put
Right?
9,999 1/1 counters on, I guess, one creature.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
want to do
so
that.
this card is like almost unset janky weird, but it's going to be a standard
Yep.
card.
Oh, yeah. They, I
That's-
There's
really
some
think
weird things, and it's 7 mana. I feel like you can get away with having some more janky stuff because it's
Yeah.
harder to get to.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have made it legendary.
To have that in the command zone.
No, it's not. It's less about it being in the command zone, and it's more about. So this is standard legal. You're not really getting it into there, but for it being into the in the 99 kind of thing, I find it just way more abusable as a as a not legendary.
How so? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not in your hand at every game, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know. I just mean like, you know,
If
I
it was
see.
legendary, there's definitely somebody that's gonna play that as the commander, because why the hell wouldn't? Yeah,
I
It's
just see a lot of people who are running like either aggro guaranteed give creature haste decks or clone decks, adding this to just be like, cool, I have 10 of these on the battlefield at
and
once.
jumbo cactars.
Yeah, make copies. Like,
You've
this-
entered the cactar forest.
a lot of people are gonna die to this card. That's how it is. But it's also a
yeah.
7 mana green card. Like, 7 mana green cards usually swing the game pretty hard.
I love its mustache.
I know his little mustache. All right, let's go to the next.
Well, yeah, look at that full art one. I love that. full
Oh,
art
this
one.
card's gross. We have, yeah.
Saz's
Chocobo?
Chocobo.
No, the Emmet the Unsundered. It's
Well-
Yawgmoth's will on a creature.
True.
Yeah, okay, let's go to MXL here. Which one is MXL from? That is XIV. That's 14.
Yep.
He's 1 blue black, 2/4 Elder Wizard with Vigilance. When he enters or attacks, draw and discard. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, transform. So you need to fill your graveyard, and then you get Hades, Sorcerer of Eld. 6/6
You
Vigilant.
love that art.
During your turn, you may play cards from your graveyard. If a card or token will be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exiled instead. Okay, so it's, yeah. It does the thing. I want to see the backside of this full art one. Ooh!
Oh, the full art backside is beautiful.
Okay, that's pretty nuts. Wow. 14 Big Bad from Shadowbringers. Yeah, I watched Callie play a lot of this. She, oh, dude, just the hours lost to the couch playing FF14. Cool game, though. Definitely, like, successful MMO, right? Imagine playing Italy and getting a Cactar out of it.
Yeah, that'd be a win. That's
Damn. All right, let's talk about Saz's
Chocobo?
Saz's Chocobo.
Yeah.
1 mana, 0/1 bird with landfall. Put a
Put a
counter on
1/1
it
counter
with
on it.
landfall trigger. Cool.
yeah.
Not
For an
bad.
uncommon, not bad. It does the thing. Sephiroth is looking very underwhelming.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's reveal a little bit at a time because we got the other full art. Oh no. Wrong. 6 mana Dimir.
Yeah.
I was really thinking that Sephiroth was going to be Grixis. And I know he's probably not the only copy of Sephiroth in the set,
Probably not.
but I was pretty certain that there was going to be some. Well, he is very calculated, very dark, very knowledgeable, like science and evil. But like, he's also like pull his sword out and kill everyone in the town, kind of
Yep.
red.
He never did that. Those allegations are false. Justice
Yeah.
for Sephiroth.
This is the starter deck Sephiroth, though. It's meant to be for beginners. Yeah. So this one with that key art that they put out with the Sephiroth and Cloud that are part of the same image. Those are
Yep.
for the. Yeah. Let's see. Let's check down here. Okay. FIN. No, it's still FIN set code. FCA is on Yuffie here, and it is a reskin of Yuriko Tiger Shadow. Interesting. I wonder if that is a secret layer. Because they've been doing secret layers attached to sets as well.
Oh, it could be too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will see another Sephiroth and Cloud in the main set. Yeah, okay. So
Yep.
let's read this. It is a 6 mana 4/4 Vigilance. Human avatar soldier. Attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap. Ooh, I love the reminder text. When he enters creatures your opponents control, get -2/2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on it. That's
It's a better Drizzt.
pretty good.
It is pretty good, but it's like this is what I was saying when we started this about being like some of this set seems kind of like a little lackluster. Like from some of the stuff that we've seen from recent sets, for a 6 drop, 4/4 Vigilance, a 1-time static of -2/-2. It's like I'll put it like this, right? That 1-time static of -2/-2. If you're trying to compare this to other things that exist in Magic already, like Elish Norn, right? Hellish Nord is all your creatures get +2, all your opponent's creatures get -2. Like, even if it's not getting the buff to your creatures, I think this should have been a static, just creatures your opponent's control get -2, -2.
I would support that having Sephiroth enter the battlefield, assuming as well that you might have, like a few mono blue flicker spells in your hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Having it enter and let's say seeing in the one turn it came out 2 ETB of triggers.
Yeah.
And it's suddenly becoming like, I don't know, like a 2020. It's very viable. Like all of a sudden it's now the biggest threat on board.
Big.
But I'd also say that's kind of horrible telegraphing. I wouldn't want a card, and I play with Catherall and other weird, like, oh, you see it coming kind of commanders here and there, right? So I definitely see this being hopefully the slowest version that we'll see of Sephiroth. I believe that they should probably do our boy some justice here and have maybe, I don't know, 3 versions. I really want to see his Supernova version right near the very end of Final Fantasy VII. I want to see that.
The one-winged angel.
Yeah, the one-winged angel destruction.
Yeah, I need this card to play the Sephiroth theme song when it hits the table every time. It needs to be like one of those birthday cards that opens up and fucking plays music. But realistically, this is a 6 mana, never 4/4. This is a 6 mana 8/8 that board wipes your opponents for.
And it's opponent's creatures, which I really like.
Yeah,
I do like that.
It is still all right, but yeah, this one is probably from that welcome deck or whatever.
Yeah,
So
it is
we'll see.
like a Massacre Worm. It's a little bit better than a Massacre Worm, yeah.
If you're building this as a commander, throwing in a Massacre Girl, that gives all your the newest one, Known Convict, because you get to draw cards.
Yep.
And then all your creatures have Wither. And if you have like a 2020 with Wither,
yeah. And this is a great replacement for people who this is a great replacement for what is it, Toxrill?
yes.
And just a great card to put Toxrill into the 99, where it's not quite as oppressive as Toxrill, but then in the 99 you pull Toxrill late game after casting Sephiroth, and you're cooking.
Think of it this way. Like, if you build a deck around Sephiroth, the rest of your deck is going to be built around everything like Ravenous Chupacabra or, other board wipes like Massacre Worm. And every time you're just going to control their board and have a massive commander that can attack with Vigilance.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
No, yeah, like it is incredibly strong. I'm not denying that. It's just from some of the stuff that we've seen from like past, even just some of the past sets that have come out recently, especially when it comes to Universes Beyond stuff. I was just like, I wasn't as impressed. I thought it could have been stronger.
Could have been stronger.
It is still could have been stronger.
All right, Yuffie.
I see. Sorry.
Yuffie
I want to call the next one. I see Garland's name right there. That's one of my favorite villains. So I want to.
All right, let's quickly just talk about how this art, Tetsuya Nomura, of Yuffie.
It looks like it's from
Lyrica.
the literal game pamphlet, from the PlayStation 1 game. It literally looks like it's from the back.
Yeah.
Characters.
Beyond flavor, destroy the lands. Yeah, true. Okay, you take this away. I got to clear my throat.
All right, Garland. Oh my God! Look at that art. Look at that art. Look at that art. Okay, I don't know what it does. This is gonna be exciting. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. Okay, I already love that because that's basically, and it's a 2-drop. So basically, you're going to be able to fill up your graveyard pretty decently and do a lot of really low-cost reanimation effects to get big boys out. That's pretty cool. And then its other ability is for 7 total, 2 black and 2 red. That's pretty steep, but return this card from your graveyard transformed, and then when this, what is it, Chaos the Endless, dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library.
It's a 5/5
That's so, you know what? Okay, as a utility, legendary. Is this a silver? Did they make our big bad from the, first game?
Garland's an uncommon.
He is an uncommon.
Which means
I don't approve of any of the.
You could
real
make it
big
a pauper
bads.
commander.
yeah, you can make it a pauper
that's
commander.
pretty cool, yeah, but yeah, I just, it's a cool 99 card. That's where I stand with it. I do love the art though. It makes me really, really happy. If I could get that as a mat, I'd be very, very stoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a commander, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. Especially as a pauper commander, getting into 7 mana for that activated ability for something that doesn't do very, like when it dies, put it in the bottom of its owner's library. As a commander, I'm like, it just, why? Then you have commander tax applied to then what is still, no matter what, in pauper. Let's say you're just doing pauper, 7 mana.
You know
I
what?
don't really.
You know what I like about it? It's a 2-drop. It's kind of like Dragon's Rage Channeler. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. That's a very, very powerful effect, right? I think just as a 2-drop.
I think it is 100%. And as a 2-drop commander, like,
Yeah, And what if you ever
And
have?
the flip art is gorgeous, but why would you have such a boring, lackluster ability applied to such a gorgeous? I don't know. It just doesn't.
No, I agree with you, Brady. Like at the very least, they should have juiced this thing, especially for 7 mana. It has to be already in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. It should have been like flying, trample, lifelink, death touch. Like it should have been like it should have been big, boy.
It's a big bad. He's a big bad. You know, like, can you imagine if Genova in the set is just like a flavored text card?
It's just gonna be Child of Alara reprinted.
Whatever. That's my 2 cents. I still like it. I still like it for reasons. I'm just not as excited as I clearly was on stream there a little while ago.
It's okay, Brady. Just ignore the 7 mana at the bottom, and it's just a 2-drop that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1.
That's what it looks like to me. So
Yeah, Jordan says Garland may be a limited all-star. I think it's going to be better than it looks. I honestly do. Like if you're thinking like standard, all of the creatures in Rakdos. I mean, a 2 mana 3/2 that has an incredible ability on it that at any time later in the game, if you just don't have something to cast, here's a 5/5 flyer. You just reanimate from your graveyard, and
I would add it to the 99 for sure.
Yeah, it will be good in standard. I think this will be a good standard card. I think.
Oh yeah.
One thing I am seeing from this whole list here is that I think they really did give this set so far juice to be really good in standard. Like, this does not, like everything we've looked to so far, you could utilize it in like Commander and other formats, but most of this legitimately looks like this is built for standard.
And we're also probably looking at this like purely first and foremost Commander players. So
yeah, but it is a standard set, so it has to be tuned for standard. Who's this guy? Cloud? What game is he from?
This guy?
So this is amazing, and I take back a little bit of what I said. I saw down the list the other Cloud. I didn't see this Cloud when I first saw the spoilers. This is the kind of power that I was more so expecting.
Yeah. This one has Cloud. This one is the pair with
a little
the
more
other Sephiroth.
straightforward on this, but I mean, definitely more along the power that I expected.
100%. So yeah, Cloud's Planet Champion, Boros, and then 3. During your turn, as long as it's equipped, it has double strike and indestructible. That's pretty.
I didn't read the
Pretty
indestructible part.
awesome.
Damn.
Yeah. And then equip abilities, you activate the target Cloud cost 2 less to activate.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like that's really
You can put
juiced.
all the swords on him for free.
Yeah.
Dude, just anything on him, making him hit for 8 indestructible.
I have a hot take on this card.
Yeah,
This is nothing we haven't seen before.
Yes,
No, it's not.
I agree. But it is probably
And
one of the
I
better.
do love it. I think of because the other one is a Naya Precon Commander, I do believe.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like it has the set, so this will be in the actual standard release, right? So it's not a Precon card. I still think it's amazing. The indestructible and double strike is almost gratuitous to me. But at the end of the day, I appreciate the curve.
Yeah.
It's a 4/4, which is also like, damn, did you have to make it a 4/4? I mean, I guess, you play it, let's say you only have 6 mana and you're holding a Bolt Bend. You're like, you know what? I'm glad I have this because like my commander is going to die because I have only so many equipments that really, really matter. Because I can definitely see this being a very fine-tuned Voltron commander. Equip ability is activating that only costs 1, so that's what the Swords of are now free cast.
Oh.
Right? So, it does give max value to the most pertinent or most important equipments, I think, in the game period, outside of cards like Excalibur or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, having any Swords of, like, this would be someone's probably like that. This would be the commander they go to for their Swords collection deck. 100%, especially with that Buster Blade on the back.
Yeah, it's got all of the swords attached to it. And
Which
so
is
it's
Cloud.
just a Buster Blade. That's
It's
exactly
Cloud.
what
Like,
it
yeah,
is.
I actually do love the theme of that. They went with like, dude, Cloud is like the sword wielder, and he's he wields giant swords, and he is unbeatable.
But
The
that
dude's
said,
incredible.
It's also nothing we haven't seen before, and that kind of bothers me. It'd be cool if it was something else, like when Cloud comes in, you summon the Buster Blade or something, like some kind of cool additive. The way that
definitely do
Driz
need
from
to
the
see a
Forgotten
Buster
Realms
Blade.
had, whenever he came in, he summoned Guinevere, something like that. I don't know. It'd
Yeah.
been cool to see that.
I will say that one of my wife and I's predictions was that there will be serialized cards in this set, of course. Now, I know that in the big Lord of the Rings set, they had the one of one ring.
Right.
And I was thinking that something like the Buster Sword would probably be like a serialized or like a chase card for this set, or like maybe, I don't know. There's so many different things there could be, but I thought something like a sword. Like the Buster Sword is going to be an equipment, and it's probably going to be sort of Cloud and Pauldron, whatever.
Maybe like a reprint of Colossus Hammer.
Probably.
Yeah, I would hope it's not a reskin.
It's 1010.
I would hope it's not a reskin either. Especially
Maybe
like
it's
because
Excalibur,
the Buster Blade was meant to be like right. It breaks up into a bunch of different blades.
No, that's not true. And it's the
No,
Buster
is it not?
Sword. No, we did this on another podcast where Callie was like correcting you. The Buster Sword is just his standard one that's in his art. There's a different one. Jordan could help us here. He's in chat. He knows. There's one that
He's got a sword for every mood.
I mean, he
does.
definitely said that he was going to turn all of the swords into Buster Blade pieces so that we could assemble the sword.
Oh, I should grab the Buster Sword.
You should grab the Buster Sword. While you do
That's
that, I would
fair.
love to just bring up something really cool, specifically concerning this Cloud and the Sephiroth. Because one, Sephiroth, Planet's Heir, and Cloud, Planet's Champion. These cards are flavored off of each other perfectly. They're both 4/4s, and then their flavor text at the bottom. Sephiroth, this is the end for all of you. Cloud, this is not over yet. This isn't the end. Like I love the paired flavor.
It is
between them.
very, well done.
I'm noticing something. Okay, so maybe it's the the frame rate or pixelation. I don't know. For some reason, Garland's other side, the flip side, is that an eggplant on his trousers? Is that
Oh my God!
awfully phallic? Like that looks like a phallus.
It is very phallic like.
Oh, it looks like a
heavy-
dragon coming out of his stomach, like a.
It is a dragon coming out of his stomach.
I don't know.
Is this a Guar concert?
I gotta build this now. Okay, guys, we're zero
wow.
commander. I can never summon him, but he's in the zone. Who is it? It's Chaos Daedalus. God.
Okay, should we go
Everybody
down?
looks like a piece.
We're done fawning over Good Boy Cloud, and now
Don't
Ishtola.
worry, he'll be back.
I was fawning over a Garland thing.
Man. Ishtola's a snack for sure. What's this card? Esper, Knight's Blessed.
Oh, and the furry scream.
Yes. Yeah. So 4 mana Esper, Vigilance 2/4. At the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. Interesting. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Ishtola deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Pretty standard Magic card, I guess.
Yep.
For
It's pretty disgusting.
this art is so sick. Oh,
This card's going to be devastating with Wound Reflection. It's giving max value to every single removal spell that's 3 or greater. Any counter spell that's 3 or greater that also potentially draws you cards, because there's a lot of them that cost 3 mana that just draw you cards. So now you're countering a spell, you're drawing a card, and you're dealing 2 damage to each opponent.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
gaining life as well.
Wait,
and then
casting-
let's say
Each turn.
yeah. So there's going to be a lot. This is going to be Esper Spellslinger's dream.
yeah,
I
this
do-
is pretty cool.
One thing about this that like I'm excited for, but it's also kind of a detriment. I think that it's gonna I think it's gonna be a popular card and a popular commander, but I think it's gonna have some struggles. It's such a mana intensive card when you're looking at like being able to cast things. Like obviously this is an auto include for something like a Smothering Tithe, where like you're gonna need as much mana as possible to really make this thing sing.
Well, if you are able to, on the I think optimally, if you're able to reduce all of the mana from your, the curve of your hand or whatever with any kind of reducer, it's still going to see the CMC as you cast it. It just doesn't cost that much, right? So I do believe you can abuse.
You can absolutely abuse it. I just mean like getting there is going to be one of those things where just like there's choice cards in Esper that are really going to be able to like juice this up to the extent that you need to be able to cast a mana value 3 or greater.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's
I
bad.
honestly think I'm going to pick up this precon. I'll let you know.
Yeah. One thing I will say to that though, thank fuck did they finally give us a commander or something that utilizes. Everybody's been steering away from 3-drop mana rocks for everything that's 2-drop or 1-drop, because like obviously why would you go for Commander Sphere when you can just use an Arcane Signet? Why would you go for the Clue Stones when you can just use one of the named signets? This gives utility to all of those 3-drop mana rocks that everybody's been forgetting about for the last however many
And you know
years.
what? That's amazing. You are so right. This is like I just watched. I think it was I don't know who did it, but they released a deck tech for Ovika, and basically their deck was very straightforward. It was only mana rocks and some like spells or whatever that had something to do with goblins that you're summoning in. But aside from that, it's like if you can abuse this, like like I was saying, like max value 3-drop removal spells or counter spells. This also applies to literally what you just said. And honestly, you could ramp so hard, and at the at the benefit of ramping, you can. This might be honestly the strongest thing you can do to the deck is have some cool spells, right? But then you just chain off with drawing cards from playing mana rocks.
Yeah.
Also,
it gives utility to the spells that draw you a card that's tacked on there for being like the cantrip spells. It's like the spells that are there, but they're a little more mana intensive because it draws you a card because it's a cantrip.
I would
Divination suddenly is
This
powerful.
also just benefits off of it and makes it better.
I would also like
Imagine
to
killing
point
an
out.
opponent with divination.
Yeah, I would also like to point out that this doesn't really require you to be doing the thing. It just says at the beginning of any end step, if a player lost 4 or more life. So if other people are attacking other people, you're going to get that trigger as well. I feel like, this card, it triggers itself. It works even when you're not pushing it to work. There, it's an obscene value engine. And this art is just, I need that on my wall.
Had mommy hot.
shout out to Jordan Cross in the YouTube chat because they pointed out. I'll read this out. I like that there's multiple ways to get the trigger. You can even attack with her and cast a non-creature spell to get her first trigger.
Yeah,
So
you do
can
2
use
of the
her,
damage.
yeah.
You do 2 of the damage with her attack if she gets through, and then casting any other thing. I mean, it do 2 damage to each opponent. So when you cast a non-creature 3 or greater, it's going to hit 3 opponents usually. So you're going to get that regardless of her attacking.
Yeah. So we just got another comment in the
Well, it's got
YouTube
to be a
chat.
player has to lose 4, right? So it has. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Whenever, if a player lost 4 or more. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So you could also do self-life drain effects, like
that's
you
cool.
read the bones and stuff
totally.
too.
Agony. You could like pay some life, try cantrips. And...
Yeah.
It's not a player, it's not an opponent.
Yeah. So shout out to Rook in the YouTube chat. They just pointed out something that I hadn't noticed either. They say, I love that the precon set symbol is a chocobo.
It's so perfect.
And it is a chocobo. Look at that little guy.
This is
Yeah,
nuts,
if
dude.
it was anything else, I might be a little upset. Chocobo or Cactar, that's not allowed to be anything else.
No, it's
A small little Buster Blade would make me happy as well. Just saying.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
let's go on to this one. This was, I guess, one of the first cards revealed
Oh,
here.
this one pissed people off.
Cloud X Shoulder. Yeah, this one, I was sitting here being like, what? I don't really get
Ex-soldier, you
green.
made it a soldier.
Right, but I don't really get green mana from Cloud's color identity, and I'm curious. Boros fits perfectly for me. Where's the green come from? When has Cloud ever been like a green mana character?
I don't know. They probably wanted to build something that was still in line with the other one that they just printed out for the dog meat players, new to the game or whatever.
Well,
I don't know.
I understand
definitely
throwing
see
a
this.
bone or trying to like make something mechanically work because of the way you want the game to work, but like you can't just tack a color onto a character if that doesn't really represent them, right?
True. I mean, I guess it kind of depends. There's a lot of different properties that have utilized Cloud as a character. It could be that, like, Cloud Planet's champion is more so like, straight Final Fantasy the game, where this could be more Advent Children, where Advent Children you see him like it's a very tight-knit story between the two, but
There's probably going to be a lot of questions directed towards the creator of this, because obviously this is, again, the largest Final Fantasy content ever produced outside of the video game series, right? For any given entity.
I'd like to shout out to fucking Dan in the Twitch chat. My Final Fantasy is hanging out with you guys more. Love you, man.
But that said, I'm sure the creator, like, there's got to be some director on board who's like, this is why Cloud has green. So until we have that answer, I don't know. I do really love the art. I love
green
the
is
art.
good.
Yeah,
Green's good.
Carnifex in YouTube chat says, in my head, green makes sense because of Life Force / Gaia / the Mana Earth connection, etc.
Oh,
Not mana materia.
I agree with that.
Oh yeah, you know what? Like our Buster Sword here.
yeah.
Callie did put green and red materia in the Buster Sword she made. So I don't know, maybe I could be convinced. Anyway, we haven't read the friggin' card yet. I still don't know what this card does. Okay, it's a 5-mana 4/4 haste in Naya colors. When Cloud enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it.
Gross. Which is
When
gross.
when he attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then, if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. How often do you think you're going to trigger the? You just draw a card for each
actually-
equipped attacking creature.
So there's a very good chance of this now, especially Marches Against the Machine, the ones that had 4 Mirrodin, right? I think that was the set that had that.
Living weapon
Yeah.
type stuff.
No,
right?
that was all V1, I think, actually. Or either way, you guys know what I'm talking about. So
Yes.
there's a lot of equipment, especially in Boros, that checks for, or it comes in, creates a rebel, and auto attaches. A whole bunch of those same equipments came out in Assassin's Creed. And honestly, when it comes to the amount of cards that cheat things, including Cloud now, being able to draw a card with this is pretty intense. You throw Nahiri, the one that checks for basically the same thing almost, I think. So you're going to be able to draw cards more in a Boros kind of thing. I know there's green in there, but you're going to be able to draw more cards in a Boros equipment deck. I think this is a commander than most other brews. Because there's that like new core Kadeen from the same set with the Rebels. He does the same thing. He gets XX, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control, and then it also draws cards if it's over power 4. And I don't know. I think it's cool. And also, you're making 2 treasures. Like throwing a couple extra combat cantrips into the deck, and you are going to kill people with a Voltron deck, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jordan's saying living weapons are going to be very and definitely it's gonna living weapons or equipping the germ is gonna make it very, very powerful in this instance.
Bro, Chishro in this deck? Ugh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chishiro could go in this deck. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! It would
Dan
be
says
brutal.
Boros equipment with ramp definitely goes hard. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue that this deck is going to go hard, and I definitely want to buy all the precons. This is they got us, like when this set comes out. I have sort of committed to not buying any of the sets this year, just to save up some coin to just bust a nut on this one.
Yep.
Because the thing is though, like the Amonkhet stuff in Aether Drift kind of like got me excited a bit, but I'm like, no, I gotta save the coin. But Tarkir is pretty sick. I know Jeskai's like my color identity home base, and that's where the Jeskai
Are we
are from,
turning
right?
to Tarkir finally?
Dragon
Is that new?
Tarkir Dragonstorm is one of the sets that will come out before this in the standard cycle.
Cool. Yeah, and I don't know. We're also returning to Archebios, which is going to be exciting. I'm really excited about Strixhaven having a comeback.
That's not this year though, right? No.
No, I think it's a ways away, but
Yeah.
still announced. Yeah.
I already have the collector's case pre-ordered. Are the pre-orders literally already open? Is that like it's friggin' February, guys?
Probably. It's
It's October, baby. Christmas in October.
I just had this conversation with someone the other day. It's kind of been it's kind of gotten to be like a little products barely even on the shelf.
Halloween's not over yet. Stop celebrating Christmas. Yeah, that's totally what this feels like.
Jordan says Tarkir is next.
Yep.
Is Tarkir next, or is it Spider-Man next?
No, I think
Jordan's gonna be
it's
salivating for that.
Tarkir and then Spider-Man.
Okay.
Jordan, this is not to you. You're going to be salivating for those dragons. I know you. Oh yeah, don't you know? I'm going to get them off. I'm going to catch them all, bitch.
Wait, Dan
How are you
says
gonna-
it's sold out most places. What do you mean? There's no way. There's 4 months and this set's already selling out. They're the pre-orders, I guess. Pre-orders.
He's so evil.
Wow.
So evil.
Oh my god. They're gonna make so much friggin' hand over fist money on this. All right, let's go to Titus. Let's go Juicy Boy.
I'm excited
Take
about
over
this.
Titus. I'll talk about Terra. You take Titus.
Brady,
Me?
you want it?
Oh yeah, well, okay. I'm glad because this is the character in any video game I actually officially dropped my balls over. Yeah, no, I love Titus as a horny teenager, and Titus was my bae. And on top of that, the whole moving counters around, and one of my favorite decks ever is Falco. So, Titus, Yuna's Guardian, love the mana cost. It's in Bond. Human Warrior, so it's also checking for Warrior types, which I really appreciate because it does at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second creature or second target creature you control. It has Cheer. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to player, you may draw a card and proliferate. Oh, don't only once each turn, but
Dan is definitely over in the chat here being like, someone's got to build this infect.
Oh,
I will.
he's an assault suit, that's for sure.
I will. I'll build an infect Titus.
He's such a
Let's
boob.
go.
Such a boob. I'm sticking around a little bit.
Yuck.
Titus is a bit of a boob, but he's still so hot. God.
He's like the definition of
My
him.
story. No, Titus. Get over your father. Okay? Get over him.
That's sick. I don't know. Yeah, Jordan's saying maybe a little underwhelming because once per turn, but
Once per turn, but I do-
But because it's once per turn, give him an assault suit,
And
then
you know what? And that's fair. Proliferation is
Keep it
any
going.
number of permanents with or players with counters on them. So even if it's just once per turn, that's balanced, and I appreciate that. You know, like otherwise you could probably just break the game with this. If it wasn't once per turn, assuming you and honestly you could probably make clones of him. Would that work? Doing a mirror box?
Yep.
Shenanigan?
Totally would.
yeah.
So
Because
get
they're
at least
only
two
once per
triggers
turn.
that only happen once each turn. So either way, I do love it at the beginning of combat. It could also be I don't know. I guess a stun counter, like a bunch of stun counters. I guess I don't know.
You could indestructible counters,
There's definitely some
or
potential there.
shield counters, or anything.
Oh yeah, like this right here, I already know one of the most best utility cards, and you'll get to see it in a game that we'll be putting up on this channel soon. Slippery Bog Bonder. You move any number of counters from one creature to another and give a hexproof counter.
What you just call me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
What'd you call
heard
me?
it.
Hey, Brady, don't be such a Titus. On that note, I'm going to switch over here to Tara, and I got to take a bathroom break. So if you guys want to take this one, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, I know Brady really wants to get into Sin, so Oz, you should take Tara.
Yeah, I'll take Terra. I also love Sin. Sin is fucking cool. But I also am in love with the ability here on Terra.
Yeah.
And so Mardu, just a straight Mardu, no additional. And for a 3/3, nice 3 mana for 3/3. Trant at the beginning of your combat on your turn, mill 2 cards, and Terra gets flying. So mill 2 cards, get flying, get some evasion, and when she deals combat damage to a player, pay 2 mana and return any creature card with power 3 or less from graveyard to battlefield tab.
That's pretty
So
strong.
it's a higher utility Alessia who smiles at death. That's what I'm looking at. It's a much
Yeah.
more much higher utility. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, any creature, even with the power 3 or less, you're going to be able to do all sorts of shenanigans with that. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are high mana creatures that are that
Low
are
power.
just super low power.
This is
Yeah,
the hero from
a
number
utility.
6, I believe. I think this is the
yeah.
hero from number 6. I'm
it
surprised they
says
made that a
FF6.
pre-con commander.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fun. I tried so hard to actually do well at that game, and I sucked.
So the one thing I love about how this is written too is it does give juice to things like Double Strike, where then
Yeah.
you get to do the trigger twice, or if you're running extra combats. As
Oh,
long as
you could
just-
add Ishin. That'd be great for this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
attack
Ishin.
trigger. No, sorry, that's attack trigger.
That's
Take it
right.
back, take it back.
Dan just said in chat, Brandon, brother, if Brando puts me to sleep and proliferates, I will legitimately cry. I don't think that actually adds stun counters, does it? Sleep.
No, it just
No.
taps everything down for a turn.
Yeah.
But Dan, you watch out. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. It's not just gonna be Sleepy Boy this time. It's gonna be all the
My
time.
man.
Ooh, Jordan says Ashnod's Altar and Gary go burr.
Oh yeah.
Tara.
Holy crap, they do.
Ew.
Ew.
You putting that out there in
Yeah.
the world, Jordan? Proud of you. Thank you.
No, Gary's a great one to go into Terra here.
You know what'd be even more flavorful?
Absolutely.
The Gray Merchant of the Alphabet. That'd be fun.
The great merchant of the alphabet.
Yeah. Choose E. I see 3 in her name right now.
Is Terra is one of the face cards of one of the commander decks?
I
believe so.
It looks
Yeah,
to be,
I think it's Terra, Y'shtola, Cloud, and
And Titus.
Titus. Correct. Those are the 4 that they've. I'm maybe that's all of them. 4.
I believe so. Maybe they have a secret one on the list. They've never done more than 4 at once, though. So, but out of Aether Drift, we just got 2 commander decks, not 4. So maybe they're changing it up. Maybe
Yeah.
we see a secret Sephiroth commander deck.
All right, let's go to the next one here. Oh, I
This
like
is the last one.
Terra is templated kind of like the original Elder Dragon kind of thing. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and then
Oh, yeah.
do effect thing, which I kind of
Well, the
think is cool.
original, the OGs had that. Their ability was 3, but
Yeah, I guess
Still though.
power creep, you know.
Yeah, power creep. Yeah, it's colorless. Yeah,
All right.
we got Sin.
Ooh, okay. Sin,
Oh,
Spara's
Look at that
punishment.
enormous
So
salamander-looking eldritch horror. So yeah,
What?
no, Sin, Spara's punishment. It is an expensive bitch, but honestly, the payoff would be so fun if you build this correctly. It's got flying. Whenever it enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random, which is the only thing to really get around. It's going to be hard to really navigate. But then you create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the exiled card is land, repeat this process.
Ooh.
So if you build this right, things like Peer into the Abyss, I don't know, target player mills 10 cards, even traumatizing yourself would be worth it, you know?
I think
Oh, it says it
Mothman just got
random.
a new friend.
Yeah, it says at random, unfortunately. So you can't really
Yeah.
like, pick and choose.
So yeah,
but
if this is a lands matter deck, let's say you have what, like Legion Crab?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Mothman just got a new friend.
No, Royal Elemental and a couple other whatever fuck off landfall creatures that nobody likes to look at. And then the rest is literally just, I don't know, very specific, flooding your graveyard with, and you know, look at the top X cards of your library, put X in your hand, put the rest in your graveyard, kind of shenanigans. Even if not just only having lands, you know, just a lot of excess lands and being able to just go for that traumatize and making sure that you have 30 lands potentially in your graveyard.
Well, that's
It's
the fun
more
thing
of a
about this
payoff.
too.
This is more of a payoff thing. It'd be like, it's the most satisfying thing is getting to that climax, you know, exploding everywhere and then just being like, okay, I can die, guys, you know. Like,
Well, the fun thing
What
about
else
this
am I gonna
too
do?
is the utility is kind of stretched in different ways. Because if you're running cards like the new Lumra, the bear, the mono green bear, or like a card like World Shaper, where you use their utility to get all of your lands out of your graveyard and onto the battlefield, and then be hitting its effect, then you're like, okay, here, I have all of the lands that I need because I've milled a fuck ton. And now I'm guaranteed getting one of my like.
Is there
good
not a
stuff cards.
Leviathan? And I think that there is a Leviathan mono blue that either puts your cards into all lands into your graveyard or it exiles them. I'm not entirely sure, but if it puts it into your graveyard so that you can play it, and then all of a sudden have your Leviathan avatar, it might just be the best Leviathan deck ever. That's
even just messing around with clones, you know, have a mirror box deck with this guy and just have you like, I don't care what I get. I just want some silly shit.
It is also enter and attacks. So
Getting it
you're not just getting the one off of it. But
no matter how strong it is, having an efficient engine with this commander would be fun no matter what.
oh yeah, this one's
I
going to
don't
be
think-
ridiculous. Jordan says Sin reminds me of Banana Man. What do you mean by that?
Tassiger.
Tassiger, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Mill X cards, and then you basically, if you go infinite with Tassiger, you can play your whole deck from your graveyard.
Dan's also saying, "Oh, find a card 1 minute. Scouting Trek. Read it. What is that? Can someone pull that up? I don't wanna...
Scouting Trek is fantastic card. It's draw cards until you hit a non-land, and put those cards into your hand. Or scout? No, sorry. That's Treasure Hunt. Scouting Trek is get any number of basics and put them on top of your library.
Oh.
And so.
Oh yeah, max value Hermit Druid.
Yeah.
I think good too for the deck.
Oz, I found the card that I think you were referencing before. Not quite what you thought it was.
Does it exile
Trench
them?
When this creature enters, you may search your library for any number of cards and exile them. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of cards exiled this way. It's also not from graveyard, it's from library. But
yeah, so you get all your lands from your library and unfortunately exile them, not graveyard them, which...
I mean, realistically, I see more use out of Sin not worrying about the land being done, because that's useful. If it's a land, then you get to repeat the process. So you basically guaranteed that you get
a permanent.
A permanent.
Yeah.
But exactly like we mentioned before, where even that Leviathan would be half decent for that deck, because you cast that Leviathan, you get rid of all the rest of the lands in your deck, because it's like, okay, cool, I've ramped to the point that I don't need any more land to make this deck function. Then you just rip in permanents after permanents out of your graveyard.
You know, I gotta say this right now. This ginormous calamity of a beast is so fucking cute. Like, the more I keep looking at it, I'm like, I just wanted my own little tiny Sin I can put in my pocket, pull it out every time I want some kisses, you know?
No,
You gonna destroy Spira, baby? You gonna destroy Spira?
But we gotta ask, can Sin get it?
Oh. Okay.
Smash or pass? Optimal question.
Definite smash.
Look at that mouth. What that mouth do?
Oh, and that's our
His name
show.
is Finn. You know he's
You'll
got it.
never know pleasure like my pleasure.
So what's everybody's favorite card here that we've looked at?
Honest to God, probably Sin.
Yeah?
Stan,
I mean, I love the Jumbo Cactar, and I do really like Terra, but Sin can definitely get it. And like Brando was saying, it just makes sure that you're going to get get something of value, because if you so happen to get a land from the graveyard instead of a permanent that's gonna make some value and make a difference in the game, you actually get something that's going to make a difference.
Yep.
Instead of whiffing on a land.
Well, even like Sin, even if you're just like playing normally and not filling your graveyard, like whatever somebody has tried to remove is just coming back next turn. Like, especially if it's the only thing in your graveyard.
well, it's ETB exile the thing, right?
Yeah.
So it is when it enters or attacks, exile a
Yeah.
permanent card from your graveyard. So it doesn't actually do anything in the means of filling your graveyard.
Yeah.
But
That's okay
yeah.
though. For that mana value, you're literally crafting that deck to not have to worry. The rest of the deck is self-mill.
Yeah.
That's what that deck does.
Yeah, I got to agree here. Y'shtola, for many reasons, has my interest peaked the most.
I think I'm gonna have the funnest. I'm gonna have more fun brewing her. Sin though is my favorite for flavor.
My favorite is, and I can't believe anybody would say otherwise, it's that Jumbo Cactar.
Jumbo
Perfection.
Cactar.
Cactar's fantastic.
It's perfection. There's never been a more perfect Magic card ever printed.
Cactuar.
Pistachio.
Especially for somebody like me, the proclaimed very first podcast, the Simic player of casting nothing but swole boys.
Yeah.
And now that's a swole boy right there.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
boy, howdy.
crazy. Like anything, like all you need is trample, whatever, like a multitude of different things for this to just be a player eliminator, and I think it's hilarious.
I'm excited to see the first person who gets to Myriad it.
Oh my
that's gonna be
god!
Oh yeah.
Or I guess maybe Myriad wouldn't work because it has to attack,
Blade of
they have to
Stealth,
tap, then
Blade of
attack you.
Stealth.
Never mind.
Oh wait, no, you need the trigger. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Boo.
What else we got? We got
Still.
Well, this was exciting. This was fun. I've been mad and resisting looking at them for days, but now that I have seen them, I think they're going to do well with this set.
So let's tune something just for you, specifically Tanner.
What's up?
We've seen these. Let's do some predictions. What else do you think we're going to see? What do you think things are going to be?
I mean, we haven't seen any of the armor or equipment.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I guess one of my predictions that I wanted to nail in, and I'm really hoping that they do, is that the like showcase frame, like the specific kind of themed art variant of this set. Like we just had like those Ratfink cool ones for Aether Drift with the tattoo art kind of looking stuff, right? I'm really hoping they do FF7 menu, like 8-bit menu frames with like the menu where you're choosing your actions, you know, your attack and summons and stuff like that. I'm really hoping that we get some sort of variant like that. Otherwise, like I said, I'm gonna have to make it. But yeah, visually, I'd like to see an old school look. Dan says he's got to go and work again in 2 hours. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it.
See you, Dan.
I'm actually. You know what? We're just stuck on Shiva right now. I keep looking at this. Do they die? Will it die?
I don't think it does.
If it runs out of chapters.
Yes, it does. So it says at the top, as the saga enters and after your draw step,
Oh, yeah.
add a lore
Okay,
counter,
sorry.
sacrifice after 3.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I was
that'd be
against
busted
one,
if it
being
didn't.
Where is it? Whatever. Fine. It's cool.
Yeah, but like you said, Brady, in the terms of like a flicker deck, which is probably where it's going to see most of its play. Oh yeah, it's never dying. It's always going to be a blocker. It's just going to be tapping things down and putting stun counters on them.
I can't wait to get that really nice version for Hilda. Ugh.
No, the Ifrit is going to be pretty awesome with that as well. I mean, just seeing the other summons when they come out, man.
Ifrit's gonna be burn. Ifrit's gonna be burn.
Probably.
Colossus is gonna be Titanic Growth. We're gonna have. Ooh, there's gonna be some weird. Odin's gonna be. What would Odin be? That's a classic one too. That's been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
What is he? Does he have like a
Odin
big
will
hammer?
probably destroy target creature. Maybe
Anima?
be destroy target creature or something like that. Anima's gonna be some kind of recursion thing. It'd be fun if they added Doom Train. I think Doom Train's from number 7 or 8.
What do you guys think about
if you
these
Leviathan.
these reskins? We got the Ancient Copper Dragon. We've got Yuriko Tiger Shadow. Where do you think? Did they say where these are showing up and what they? I mean, this doesn't. This says FCA, right? So that does not mean that this will be in standard. Yuriko's not going to be in standard.
I'm guessing it's going to be the secret layer. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm okay with the reskins. I think they. I mean,
Yeah.
Yuffie makes sense. If she didn't have ninjutsu, it just wouldn't have made sense at all.
Right.
But her being Yuriko, you know what? I can get behind that. And I mean, I'm just happy that we're getting another Ancient Copper Dragon because that
I can
shit's
see-
expensive.
I can see the
Likewise.
new Shana, the Dominarian Shana, being like Yuna. You know,
Yeah.
it would be really easy to see some more of these legendaries printed with kind of cards printed this way, as opposed to just completely off the hop original cards.
Yeah.
You know what?
Are
I'm
we
actually
now the real question
Like
off of
Garland
Yuffie?
could have been Carter. Garland
Oh,
could have
yeah.
been Carter. I would have been very, very happy with that. But
Oh yeah. Now the real
So we're
question
at-
off of Yuffie specifically is: are they gonna finally fix Commander Ninjutsu and add a commander text to it?
I doubt they're changing the
Nah.
rules over this.
nah,
Probably.
probably not.
well, no, we're just never going to see Commander Ninjutsu anyways, right? I think that's
I
just
know,
where it
and it
starts and
annoys
ends.
me. I know.
Kind of like
one
what they
and
did with our
only.
boy Neheb. There's only one card in the entire game that has Neheb's wording, and they're just never going to print anything like that again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A win for the community. We didn't get our boy nerfed, but
Actually, one thing that I'd love to see is what they're gonna do with like materia. I want to see something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So it's gonna be Mana Rocks, right?
Ooh, I
Enchantment.
wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, I can track that'll follow.
Like, or potentially Mana Rocks that double as equipment because it seems like
Auras?
equipment
maybe
or
it'll be
auras.
auras.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can see it being an aura.
Yeah, an aura
definitely
because
see
you
that
you
on
do
aura.
attach them, right? You do.
Or an aura that is specifically attached to equipment.
Yeah.
That could be too.
Interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. Right, Tanner, I have a question for you though, specifically.
Yes.
Because I see a certain character that is in your room with you right now that I'm curious about what they're gonna do. I love
The woman in the red dress.
the woman in the red dress. Yes, Aerith.
Yes, Aerith. I was thinking Aerith was going to be something along the lines of like green, white, or mono green. Well, she's also maybe
Enchantress.
blue, right? Because she's also like a magic like sorceress. And then I don't even know how to like really dig in and do a prediction on abilities. But
Well, like, what
yeah,
does Aerith
this episode
do
would have been so hard to
in-
do.
Nah, I mean, yes and no. What does Aerith do in Final Fantasy? Right? She's a healer, right?
She's a healer, but she's also like, is she not like an avatar like Sephiroth? Like, is she not part of the whatever it's called? She's essentially like a god as well, right?
Yeah.
Her and Sephiroth are like bound together, kind of in that. Oh, I wish that Callie was here. She could extrapolate on this, but she's not so powerful, and I'm really curious to see
Yeah.
what an Aerith card is going to look like. Tifa's going to
you
be
probably-
just like beat shit to death with her bare hands, right? Like that's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I presume we're all honestly going to see Lifelink Aerith, if anything.
yes, yeah, because she's usually, yeah, Lifelink does suit the character.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan also said in the chat he's wondering what all the side quests are going to be, and honestly, I wonder if they are going to do more side quests, if that's going to be a
Yeah.
thing.
I imagine
might.
they will.
I bet we're only
Oh.
going to see a side quest of each color.
At
It'd be
least
really
one,
cool
yeah.
if the art cards are also a supplementary, Final Fantasy, like my favorite in-game card game that exists for the franchise was from number 8 with the arrows. It'd be super cool if all the art cards had arrows. That'd be so meta.
Another thing that
You're playing a
I've
card
thought
game
about-
within the card game, guys.
Inception card games.
Oh.
No, I've also wondered quite a bit about Genova. Is she going to be Like, is that going to be a creature or is it going to be
Probably an artifact.
a
right?
legendary artifact?
creature.
I hope we see Genova as a planeswalker. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I hope we do.
They
Progenitus remake.
no, Maro has pretty much confirmed, and he said as well with the Lord of the Rings set that there won't be planeswalkers because planeswalkers are a very specific Magic IP thing, and they didn't want to cross that over into the other IPs like this. So I think there was a promise that there will not be planeswalkers in this set either.
Okay, so then yeah, Genova's probably going to be an artifact then.
Legendary artifact.
Yeah, or potentially
Fair enough.
legendary artifact creature.
Like, what would it do though? Is it going to be like super stacksy on something, or like just powerhouse you? It's going to be
no
like
idea.
the Immortal Sun or something, or
Yeah.
or
I would hope that it's something kind of like the Immortal Sun. Like that would make sense.
or is it going to be more like the God Pharaoh statue, where it just taxes everybody else to death? Makes
It is. Yeah, that one's a hard one to kind of speculate. Specifically for you, Oz, because you just played this card the other night, and anybody who's played Final Fantasy X is probably gonna love this. With a lovely little card called Strixhaven Stadium, and one of our new boys here called Titus. Hey, guess what, everybody? We can
play
play
some
Blitzball
Blitzball.
and Magic.
Where is it? Yeah, that's crazy because you can actually like proliferate your Strixhaven Stadium. How many counters does it need to get to?
It only needs 10, and
10?
when you deal damage to a player, you take 10 off and nuke the player. And so, Blitzball. You could make the Blitzball deck.
Oh, I guarantee
Nutty.
you that's gonna be like the running meta for Titus decks. I almost guarantee it.
I love it. I'm excited. This has got me rock hard. Here I am looking at Titus's pecs, and I'm saying this has got me rock hard.
Oh yeah. Whatever you're into there, bud.
All right, do we want to add anything to the end here, shoehorn anything in, or should we keep it tight and wrap it up? Jordan says the only thing I expect, and we'll throw a table if it's not in Thancred's flavor text from 14 says this is Thancred.
I agree with you.
This is Sparta.
This is
Honestly,
Sparta.
I would love to see. I really want to see some Buster Blade action with it, and like having different Buster Blades so that you can attach them onto each other, like have that feel to it. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I really want to see it.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that because this set doesn't release for 4 months, that we're not going to see much more for a while, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like every month we start getting like a few more spoilers here. They've been kind of bad to us on the spoiling everything before a set even drops.
Yeah, this is, how many cards is this in this list? Well, it's 36 cards, but that's not 36 unique, right?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, not counting the named skin, like skin cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put Mog in Zedru.
Oh yeah, Mog the Stilt Skin definitely fits in the Moogle. I don't know. We don't have Mog yet.
Wait. Yeah, what are we talking Mog?
Stilt Skin, the Moogle merchant. He definitely fits in Zedru.
Oh.
Like definitely. But yeah, I mean Mog is definitely he has to be one of the creatures there. So he'll get released at some point.
I really wish the creature I gave away had gold. Like, come on, that could have been so cool.
Well, no, this is 100%. This is meant
group hug.
for group hug decks.
I
This
know.
is not
What?
meant for.
Moogle
there's
deck
like-
will be group hug deck, and I want to see a Moogle deck. That'll be phenomenal.
It'll
yeah.
be.
really wanna
I'd be
see someone
curious
give
on the
away Blades
utility
for
of
Colossus.
that.
I really
Yeah.
want to see it.
Like, yeah, other than just giving away like colorless things, there's not a lot of like heavy-handed utility in white to give away as like a single color.
9 lives. 9 lives will kill somebody.
Well, no, I guess yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
That's what I mean, though. It's like it's weird stuff that you'd be giving away. You think of
yeah.
like you think of like a
You should
John
only
Arenicus
ever
deck.
give away weird stuff.
No, I get that, but it's like you think like Brady's John Arenicus deck kind of thing, where it's like it's giving away either weird crap or super juiced crap that's goated, and all of it gets stronger. In a mono white deck, it's just like you're giving away pieces that don't make sense to give away, but they do. Like 9 lives is a perfect example because it doesn't just kill the player.
No, it in fact might keep them alive for longer. Who knows?
Yeah, like that's such a weird card.
Oh, we're gonna get a fat chocobo too, aren't we?
They better. That's the one thing I was hoping for out of this set. I want my fat chocobo.
You know what? If there's a vehicle or two, I would love to see one that was an homage to Chocobo Racing, because that was one of my favorite games growing up.
Well, then what they're gonna do that is they might do that as a mount or as a creature that has.
I mean, they'll definitely have the Regalia.
Yeah.
As a vehicle, but I mean, yes, Chocobo as a vehicle, or Chocobo as a creature.
It's probably
Chocobo as a saddle.
It'll be a saddle. Totally.
It'll be a saddle creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
amazing.
excited.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks, Jordan, Dan, Carnifex, Ragnarok, all the people in chat, Rook, Rue,
Gavin.
everybody for Gavin. Oh wait, is Gavin?
He was watching. I think he was on Twitch. Or it might have been YouTube.
Carnifex.
He's here.
Yeah.
He is watching.
Jordan, thanks for being here.
bro.
Thank you all for hanging out. I know we don't live stream often, but I figured like screw it, let's do this one as just a hangout and talk with chat. And thanks for making it wonderful. It's nice to do these kind of episodes with input. And of course, just thank you for watching our stuff, our channel.
Yeah.
We love you.
And especially
Be a part of the
if you're liking this
community.
right now, let us know. We'll keep up with this, honestly.
Yeah, doing streams like this is easy. Just flip it on and flip it off. I'm not gonna bother.
the easiest thing about our job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing like an edit on this. We'll just throw it up. It'll just be up there as a VOD and enjoy. But
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I guess we shall sign off here. Thanks for
Yes.
thanks for hanging out.
Everyone. Pew, pew, pew.
Love you,
everybody.
Bye.
I'm gonna give you some of this. Bye.
Brady just keys.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna peace too. We're just gonna shut it off. So, stop.